Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Verbally Abusive Man. Can He Change? A Woman's Guide to Deciding Whether to Stay or Go. By Patricia Evans. Performed by Laural Merlington. Forward. The basic aspects of this book are significantly different from Ms. Evans's previous endeavors. Whereas her first book sought to define and describe the verbally abusive relationships between adults, this book delves deeper into the reasoning of both the perpetrator and the victim in relationships. It is part of her style to explain dynamics both from the woman's point of view and the man's point of view, striking a balance and not blaming either party for their inherent or learned relationship behaviors. Abusers, although predominantly male, may in some instances be female, and they define the victim's inner world as if they understand the victim's motives and thoughts, and believe on some level that they are the victim. This process culminates in an assault on a loss of self, mind, consciousness, and perception, rendering the victims convinced that they are to blame for the problems in their relationships, and causing them to feel intrinsically flawed and unworthy. Ms. Evans cites potential indicators of a willingness to change in the abuser, which include reading, focus therapy, exercises, and anger management. Ms. Evans indicates most strongly that the only method for an abuser to change is if he can and desires to. The impetus for this change takes the form of an agreement between the partners, presented by the victim. Abusers, specifically verbal abusers, have discovered that anyone may impose their demands on another by becoming loud, insulting, dismissive, critical, threatening, or ultimately violent. In an effort to accommodate the abuser, the victim takes responsibility for the behaviors for which she's being blamed. Ultimately, a vicious cycle begins, and the victim, if she attempts to seek help in the form of therapy, begins by blaming herself for all of the abuse perpetrated upon her. Since the children procreated in these relationships internalize the roles acted out by fathers and mothers, the cycle of abuse is perpetuated. From the standpoint of treatment, Ms. Evans states that the victim typically seeks help in an effort to either save or at least understand how she contributes to the dysfunction in the relationship, whereas typically the psychotherapist attempts to
Sample complete. Ready to continue?